you probably already know, but I've been experimenting with my new laser. Yeah, I've got a longer Ray 5 20-watt laser over there. I've also got another one in the corner ready to be built. But this has been a bit of a learning curve for me, right? Learning the software, but also things not to do, or things to be wary of. And this happens to be one of them. Now, I just designed this on Infinity Photo. It's a bit like Photoshop. It's I think it's a Serif Draw or Corel Draw, or same people anyway. It's really good software. Now, the reason why I use Infinity Photos is because I don't have to pay subscription for it. Whereas Photoshop now is all subscription-based stuff. That drives me insane. I don't want... You don't own it, do you? I suppose that's what it is. You don't actually own it. So anyway, this particular little design I've done here, I did some shading there. That was a mistake. Because although you can shade with the laser, the problem is if you don't get your power settings correct, well then your other lines, such as these lines here, which literally go in here as well, well they disappear. Because they get lost in the shading. You can't actually see them. I can see just about the depth of them, but I can't actually, it doesn't actually have any real definition unless I actually paint them in. It's kind of defeating the object, really. So let me show you in a little bit more detail what I mean. So we bring this onto the overhead camera here. Right, there you go. So you can see what it is, can't you? It's half a tree log, and I was trying to explain the the similarities, but also the difference between ways of cutting your log. You know, how it's milled, how to get your quarter sawn and rift sawn. You see, the thing is, you see, the point I was trying to make with this design was that even when you have live saw, which is basically when you saw all the way through the log like so, which in most cases, most mills cut that way. From seeing there's loads of slabs with your wane edge, your parallel on both edges of the log, a bit like this. You see, yeah, literally like that. So that would have been cut all the way through the actual log, this piece of wood itself. So that's what we'd call live sawn. But you see, no matter how you cut the log, whatever method you use to mill the log, whether it be half or a whole one, you will get some quarter sawn and some rift sawn. Some will have radial growth rings, which are perpendicular to the faces, but then you'll also have some which are tangential growth rings. So basically they're at an angle. These tangential growth rings are not stable. Yeah, your border's less likely to remain flat, especially if it comes from the top here, right across the log itself. But as you can see, this area here is almost like perfect quarter sawn, even though it's either from plain sawn or live sawn. So it don't really matter how you cut the log. You will get some rift sawn and you will get some quarter sawn out of that log, you know. So whether you do radial or... Because, how do I explain this? Because rift sawns and quarter sawn are basically the outcome of your log. Plain sawn, radial sawn, and what have you, that is literally the method of producing it. Or, say, live sawn, or there's all different... Some people, where we are in the world, might change what we actually call them as well. That, I've noticed that. But it gets confusing, and that's kind of the point that I was trying to make, was that when you look online and what have you, they tell you at quarter sawn, rift sawn, and it shows you all these little diagrams and what have you, but they don't really explain to you that these are the outcomes from whatever method of sawing the log is. So if you're rift sawing your log, you can end up with tangential growth like so. If you're quarter sawing the log, you will get mainly quarter sawn logs, but you might get some tangential in there as well. You see, there's no way around it because the log's round. So there isn't really the perfect way of sawing a log. I would say plain sawn is probably the best way to saw a log. And my reasoning behind that is because you'll get less waste, and I do not like waste. Because, you know, you're still going to get some rift sawn, you're going to get, you know, tangential growth and radial sawn, but also get your quarter sawn as well, out of whatever method you do it. But the least waste comes from live or plain sawn logs, you see. Now, the laser that I created these on was, let's find it for you, this one here, okay, and that's the Long Array 520 watt laser. Now, this is a sponsored video, I suppose, but it's only because they've actually sent me the laser. They didn't give me money or anything silly like that. Although it would be nice, but they didn't. They sent us the laser for which I can make some videos. But it does allow me to be honest about the laser. So far, I'm actually quite happy with it. There's a few little problems I found with it. If you look at it, you'll see that yellow and green wire. I had to do that because the laser kept freezing partway through. What was happening is the static was building up in the cross rail. Yeah, the rail along the top. And it would freeze partway through a burn. I was like, yeah, it was disconnecting from the computer because of the static. So I had to sort that out, which absolutely seems fine now. This particular burn here, that one, took an hour. You know, they said 45 minutes, but you know, and going over because it's only the prediction that they give you is just an idea, but it ended up being an hour and 6 minutes. This burn, which is quite a long while. And the settings I used for this, let me show you. Oh, get rid of that. Oh, here we go. This is the software that I use. It's called Lightburn. It's like the industry standard. You know, it is a paid for software, but they do give you. I'm on the trial version at the moment, but I think I will have to bite the bullet and actually buy this piece of software because it is actually really good. And I've tried some of the others, and this one does flip at everything. It does. It's brilliant. This is Lightburn. And the software that I was using to actually create the artwork itself is the Affinity Photo software, as you can see here. And I have to admit, that is also a really good bit of software, really easy, and it's been saved not as a JPEG, okay, because we need it transparent. Otherwise, the laser Lightburn software will see it as a solid. So you have to do it as a transparent. I just saved it as a PNG. And once I had my PNG file, I could literally just drop that into Lightburn, scale it up, right? And then I can actually frame it. So you press the frame button, and the laser will do like a preform. It'll go round the actual the outside edge of your artwork, so you know where it is in relationship to the actual your workpiece itself. So it allows you to get it where you want it to be. I always say I got this a little bit off center. But there again, it doesn't really matter, to be honest. This is a bit of an experiment anyway. And looking at it, I kind of failed a little bit there. What I might do is I might change the design. So this shading here is a lot lighter. I mean, barely anything there whatsoever. See, the problem with the design that I decided on. If you look here again, there we go. It was too dark. So that area there was way too dark. I should have made that a lot lighter. Because I wanted the darkness on these lines, you see. I wanted the depth there. You know. I could probably spray it all. And then sand it back. It's almost deep enough for that. I don't know if you can actually see that at all. Yes, I don't know. I don't know if you can see the texture. But yeah, it's basically burnt into the wood. I probably went a little bit over the top. So if I go back into the software here, if I show you, up the top here, you see, there is your layers, your cuts and layers palette. All right, so that is the layer. All right, it's just one layer because I just dragged it in from Affinity Photo, which I created. And you could use Affinity Design or that as well. You can use SVF files. SVF? I can't remember now, like vector files. So you can drag that into this. That's one flat file at the moment. And what you do is you can double click on that. And you can't see it because I have to come up as a separate window. I haven't prepared it. At the moment, I've got it set so that, as you can see it on here anyway, at 100, which is basically the millimeters a second. So it's 100 millimeters a second. So 4 inches, I suppose. 4 inches. 10 centimeters for every second. And the power setting I've got currently set at 60%. So I'll give it, say, around 12 watts of power, maybe. 12 watts, yeah, around 12, yeah, around 12 watts of power being used of the actual laser. So it can burn deeper, but also what you can also do, you see, you can do more passes. So you can make it so it goes 1, 2, 3, as many passes as you like. So if you look here, if I show you again, let's go back into the overhead camera. There we go. If you look here, I'm not editing this video, just so you know. There's a bit of shading on these outside edges. I'll bring it a bit closer so maybe you can see a bit better. There we go. I could even bring the camera down, couldn't I? I've got this camera on a stand. Look at this. It's clever, this is. It's an old larger stand, is what I'm using. I don't know if you can see that there. It's a bit darker, and that's where it's been sort of trying to burn and smoke the edges a little bit. So I could probably knock the power down a bit, to be fair. But if you do multiple passes, you can cut this right down, you see, because you're not creating that, you know, excessive heat on the edges like I've done here and there, what have you. But I'm probably going to sand this down a bit or redo it altogether. I might change it. I think I'll have to redo it. I have got the other side, you know. And this piece of wood is a piece of chestnut that came off the roof. It's probably over 100 years old. But I thought it'd be quite a handy thing to use in videos, you see. So I can explain. Anyway. Oh, dear me, these things, eh? I don't know. We're all learning, aren't we, after all, you know? So I hope the audio is okay, because I've been having to mess about with the audio. That keeps flopping about. But, yeah, so, anyway. There you go. Please beat the old like button and maybe subscribe to the channel. Oh, I've got this here. Oh, does that work? No, it needs to be above that. There we go. There you go. Oh, there are. And maybe a little bell icon, because then you get a warm fuzzy feeling in your pocket every time I upload another video. Well, that's a bit ad hoc, wasn't it? How long was that? Was it too long? We'll see in a minute. I can't see it. Oh dear, I can't see it. No. 12 minutes. Oh, ain't too bad. So all I could say, toodaloo.